What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, prepare to hit the dislike button. Don't give a fuck, because a lot of you guys aren't going to like what I have to say. But without a shadow of a doubt, this day and age, 2014, 2015, and yonder, Manny Pacquiao will get destroyed by Floyd Mayweather. I'm convinced. Now, you guys that are diehard Pacquiao fans, I have nothing against Pacquiao. But if you're a diehard Pacquiao fan, your best bet is to hope Top Rank and Golden Boy Mayweather Promotions continue to not do business and Top Rank continues to make rematches. Because Manny Pacquiao, at this stage of the game, at this stage of his career, he'll get beat, like, convincingly. And there's no one that can really tell me otherwise. I can't see it. And you're better off taking the Skip Bayless approach and talking about the what if this fight happened in 2008, 2009, 2010. That Pacquiao had a good shot to potentially beat Mayweather, if any. You know what I'm saying? This Pacquiao doesn't have it. I did my post-fight. I give Pacquiao all the credit for beating Timothy Bradley without a shadow of a doubt. He won. He won more rounds. It was a lot closer than what people thought. I mean, as far as 118 to 110 or whatever, gave Bradley 2 rounds. Like, come on. Like, the 12th round, the 11th round, the second round, like, you know what I mean? That's already more than the 2 rounds that one of the judges scored. I think Pacquiao should have won via unanimous decision, but a lot of it was Bradley not adapting and his game plan. His game plan was working at first, and maybe he used too much energy trying to prove this point that he's macho. This ain't Ruslan Provodnikov, and I told you that looking for the knockout on Pacquiao was a dumb decision because Bradley just doesn't have the firepower to really move and destroy opponents. Ruslan was walking through his punches, even though he was outboxing Ruslan and tearing up his face with the leather. He's just, I mean, you have to be what you are. The same way that Bradley wore fucking socks and no socks trying to be like Mike Tyson. Y'all are two different fighters. Mike Tyson had that peekaboo style. He had devastating punching power. I'm pretty sure he could wear flip-flops and he would have still been a problem. It doesn't matter about the socks. You got to do and employ strategy based on what works for you, based on your handful of skills. The end. Like, you have to work with what you're given and use it to the best of your ability. I don't think Bradley necessarily did that. His game plan was working. You were walking Pacquiao down, landing some big shots, but you might have scaled it back towards the mid-rounds when Pacquiao was getting his second win and he was connecting. And Bradley, for whatever reason, didn't change up. He still tried the same thing. He was switching, like trying to get a home run shot in. Like, Pacquiao's no punk. He's still a great fighter. He's still a world-class fighter. And even at this level, I think Pacquiao could still beat people. But when you're talking about elite versus elite, like Mayweather and Pacquiao, there's no way I could see Pacquiao this day and age beating Mayweather. Too many flaws, period. There's too many flaws. His speed did not look apparent like it has in the past. Like, we're talking about a guy who was known for his speed. Like, people talk shit about Amir Khan. They're like, oh, Amir Khan sucks. But at the very least, Amir Khan still fights like he did pre-Bradis Prescott. Like, he still has speed. He's only 26 or whatever age he is. His speed hasn't left him. He still has that speed. So he could still pose problems for people at 147 or 140, you know what I mean? Depending on what his power looks like at 47 and how his chin holds up. Pacquiao looks like a different motherfucker. He looks like a different fighter. That's a problem. And some of you guys are going out on a limb saying he looked great and phenomenal in this. No, he looked like vintage Pacquiao in a select few spots. He looked good and he was like, oh, he was hurting Bradley. And then he didn't follow up with anything. So to me, that worries me when I see a fighter known for A, B, and C, and they look like a shell of their former self. That's why I told you guys about Shane Mosley. After, like, the Mayweather loss, everything was like downhill, downhill, downhill. Pacquiao beat him, Canelo beat him. And I'm like, this is not looking like Sugar Shane Mosley, the one that gave De La Hoya fits, the one that, you know what I mean, fought everybody and was like never lost to a Mexican fighter. It did not look like the same Shane Mosley. So going into the Mundane fight, there's no reason prime Shane Mosley should have lost to Mundane. But that's the thing, he wasn't in his prime. And I told you guys this for the longest. It's not hating. I'm not disrespecting Pacquiao. Y'all disrespect fighters. Like, that's y'all. Y'all do that. I'm not here to disrespect. I'm really giving you my analysis. If I think Mayweather will get knocked out, I'll tell you straight up. I'll be like, Mayweather will get knocked out. But truth be told, I think Maidana is a more dangerous fight than Pacquiao is right now. Pacquiao, if he were to fight Mayweather, I think he would get picked off. He'll get pot shotted to death. He'll get frustrated. He'll get confused. Floyd's a better mover, and he has better pop, and he can crack harder than Timothy Bradley. Plus, another thing that Timothy Bradley's performance tonight lacked was accuracy. He was swinging for the fences for this home run shot, whereas Floyd Mayweather, him and Rigondeaux have perhaps some of the highest connect percentage in accuracy in the fucking business. I think it's him and Rigondeaux have the top. And then you throw in his defense and the different looks he gives. I don't see Pacquiao beating that and coming up with it. It's boxing. One punch can change everything, but you guys, Pacquiao has not knocked anyone out from 2009. He was walking down bigger guys, and now he's not doing that. That's a problem because he's not fighting like the same Pacquiao. Same thing with Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson in the 80s to the 90s, he was a problem. Post prison, he started like just not looking like the same fighter, whether he was partying too much or whatever. Same thing with Pacquiao. He does not look like the same fighter. He looked lethargic. He looked much slower. He hasn't been able to finish somebody. He fights in spurts now, and he still has pop, so he could still be dangerous. He could still beat people, but he just does not look like the same fighter. I hate to break it to you guys. He doesn't. And I think Mayweather would capitalize on that. And like I said, I think Maidana is a more dangerous opponent now than Pacquiao at this current juncture. 2008 could have been a different fight. Now, I don't see him beating Mayweather at all. Mayweather went up against Victor Ortiz, who's bigger than Pacquiao, and this was before he got his jaw broken, like really, really known for quitting. He went up against Canelo, who was undefeated, Robert Guerrero, who was game and had some 2 solid performances at welterweight. I just don't see it. I don't see Pacquiao beating Floyd Mayweather. So dislike it. I don't give a fuck. At the end of the day, y'all can't rebuke what I'm saying. Like, make an argument. Tell me a sound argument why this day and age Manny Pacquiao will beat him, will beat Floyd Mayweather. That's it. Have a valid debate. Don't say like dumb ego, you're stupid, you're gay, like, you know what I mean, you're flow-mo. Okay, cool. Now tell me how fucking Pacquiao is gonna beat Mayweather looking like he did today. I just don't see it. Some of you guys are brainwashed. Pacquiao's a good dude. He's a good fighter. He's given a lot his life to the boxing community. But you got to understand when a fighter is no longer fighting like he once did. And it's kind of like the Al Bundy story. At what point are we to let go of the past and talk about what they're currently doing? And the situation is he has not had a knockout since 2009. Period. He's fought good competition. Marquez twice. He fought Bradley twice. But the same could be said for Mayweather. Mayweather hasn't lost, or yeah, he hasn't lost. Plus, the people he hasn't knocked out haven't been stopped. He didn't knock out Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley's never been knocked out. He didn't knock out Guerrero. Guerrero's never been knocked out cold. He didn't knock out Canelo. Canelo hasn't been knocked out cold. So, I mean, for him not to knock out these people makes sense too. But Pacquiao just doesn't look like the same fighter. He doesn't look like he has the speed. He doesn't look like he has the finishing touch. Some of y'all are on that bullshit. Oh, he's so compassionate. If you're that compassionate, get out of boxing, because these other people aren't compassionate. They're not born again Christians. They're not going in there with nice intentions. And like, I wish this Cold War was not going on right now, because I would love, absolutely love to see Keith Thurman get a shot at Manny Pacquiao. I think Keith Thurman would beat Manny Pacquiao. Honestly, I just see it. You know what I mean? Like, you can say whatever you want about Keith Thurman. You could say who has he fought for you to feel that way. I just thoroughly believe that. Like, Bradley has no punching power, which we knew. I thought he was going to be smarter. Instead of looking for a KO, he would box. That's why I predicted him to win. Get in there with a guy with punching power and good boxing ability, some level of movement like a Keith Thurman. I see that being a problem. Pacquiao doesn't look like he wants to fight for full 3-minute rounds. And that's it. You know what I mean? And I think that would be a huge step for Keith Thurman to show his worth, and that would really catapult him to the next level by fighting Manny Pacquiao. So I wish this whole bullshit top ranked Cold War with Golden Boy and the networks and the HBO and Showtime was not happening, because I would love, absolutely love to see Keith Thurman. And again, if you got a guy with little punching power, which we all know, and it's funny, some of you guys hedge your bet. You talk shit about Bradley before the fight. You're like, oh, Bradley sucks. He has no punching power. He's the king of headbutts, etc., etc. And then when Pacquiao beats him, and he doesn't even do it in a great fashion, he doesn't look like vintage Pacquiao for the whole 12 rounds, then you guys are praising Pacquiao for the win. You're like, oh, Pacquiao beat a number 2 pound for pound guy. He beat the number 1 guy. He beat an undefeated fighter. So when Bradley's saying he beat Pacquiao in the first fight, you talk shit about how he sucks. And some of you guys were leaving comments like, all of Bradley's wins are split decision. He had a close fight with Pacquiao, split decision. He lost to Ruslan. He lost to Pacquiao. He had a split decision, tough fight with Marquez. And then when it's advantageous for you, then you praise Bradley. Like, oh, he's a number 2 pound for pound guy. Bradley is, you know what I mean? But any other time you shit on him and talk shit about how he sucks and has no punching power. So I wish I could see Pacquiao versus Keith Thurman. I don't think the Mayweather fight's going to happen, especially after a performance like that, because it wasn't that convincing. And Bob Arum, do you think for the last couple fights or last couple years of Manny Pacquiao's career, he wants to put him in the ring with Mayweather after that? And you guys gotta look at when somebody seems to be like tapped out and like peaking. Mayweather has still incredible performances, like the Canelo. I mean, he went in there with the catch weight or no catch weight. He went in there against an undefeated fighter, gave him his first O, and that fighter has already fought again and destroyed a big puncher at 154, and he made it look easy. So Canelo has a big future ahead of himself, and Mayweather was the ultimate matador to the bull and made Canelo look like an amateur. You know what I'm saying? Pacquiao didn't make Bradley look like an amateur. Bradley fought a dumb fight, didn't stick to the game plan, or actually probably stuck to the game plan too long, and when it stopped working, he didn't do anything different. So I'm not taking away from Pacquiao's props. Move him up on the pound for pound list, that's fine. But I do not see Floyd Mayweather losing to Manny Pacquiao. Like I said, it's boxing. He can land something, but you ain't been able to get out Rios, who came up in weight. That was his first fight at 47. Bradley fought at 40 for a while and had, I think it is 3 fights at 47. You weren't able to get him. Floyd Mayweather's been fighting at 47 for a little bit longer, and his body's more mature because he's 37 years old or whatever. I just don't see it. So honestly, it's a fucking shame. It's a shame that fight didn't happen when it was supposed to happen, because it could have been a very good competitive. And Pacquiao doesn't even look as confident as he was. Like in the corner, he just doesn't look like the same ferocious fighter that I once seen. And you could take it any type of way. You could hit the dislike button. You could say I'm retarded, but prove me wrong. That's all I want. Prove me wrong. If what I'm saying has no validity, prove me fucking wrong. Tell me Pacquiao looked great, and we can go round by round, minute for minute, and talk about it. Like I said. So, as always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.